Comedian Jeff Wittek shared shocking details about attending one of Diddy's infamous parties in Miami around 2010. Speaking on his podcast Jeff FM, Wittek described the party as wild, saying the higher you went in the mansion, the stranger the scenes, including live. He attended expecting a normal party, but was stunned by the lingerie-clad guests and explicit activities. These notorious parties are now part of a federal trafficking case against Diddy, highlighting disturbing behavior witnessed by many attendees.
Because I saw live that night, and that's the first time I saw that happen ever in my life. And did I partake? No.
Jeff Wittek is sharing his story after attending one of Sean Diddy Combs' notorious parties. The comedian says he attended one of Diddy's alleged freak-off parties, which have become part of a federal sex trafficking case against the rapper, when he was 20 years old and witnessed people having sex in a Miami mansion. Jeff reveals these details on the September 29th episode of the Jeff FM podcast.
I had a realization that I had been to a Diddy party. Actually, I swear, I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
I actually went to a Diddy lingerie sex party, freak-off party in Miami at a mansion. It was like 8 stories high, and it just kept going up, and the higher you went, the weirder was going on.
According to Jeff, he attended the party around 2010 after scoring an invite through an acquaintance who had filmed a music video with Diddy.
End up going to this party. She's like, oh, he's having a Diddy party, and these Diddy parties like are crazy. Like, they're the best parties. Like, people wanted to go to them.
However, Jeff says he was expecting a normal party but realized it would be quite the opposite when his acquaintance and another friend were dressing in lingerie.
But I remember them getting dressed up, and I'm like dressing up like I'm going to a normal party, whatever. Like, I got my
slacks on,
polo tee with the collar pop, 2 of them, doubled up, totally. Like a pink and an orange one, and I got both collars popped.
Yeah.
And they're wearing this lingerie where their nipples are showing through. And I'm like, you guys are going like that?
Wow.
And they're like, you don't understand about these parties.
Diddy parties.
And I did not understand, because I saw live sex happen that night. And that's the first time I saw that happen ever in my life. And did I partake? No. But I got drunk there. And, it's just crazy. Like, I was literally there.
E! News has reached out to Sean Diddy Combs' lawyer for comment, but has not yet heard back. The alleged freak-off events are at the center of a federal investigation into Sean Combs, who was arrested in New York on September 16th on charges of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. The 54-year-old has maintained his innocence as he awaits trial, pleading not guilty to charges on September 17th.
Why'd you delete all of our photos together?
It's giving the wrong impression to the people. People judge a book by...
Why?
Because people judge a book by its cover, and it's giving the wrong impression. You're making it like we're in a relationship I get it for money and clout that you want.
I'm doing that?
But I want a family, and you are so beloved by women that they don't want to step on your toes, and I need to be taken serious. I can't take this anymore.
Do you think I should keep the blue nails or get pink?
Go fucking find your pineapple head. Get out.
I'm not a lawyer, but I just read all 35 pages of the lawsuit filed by Cassandra Ventura, aka Cassie, versus Sean Combs, aka Diddy. And child, let me give you the recap. Let me start off by saying the front page of this lawsuit has a trigger warning on it. So listen, let me say to you, this video could be triggering. You've been warned. Okay, so the beginning of the lawsuit just gives some background. It talks about how the two met in late 2005, early 2006. Cassie was 19 and Diddy was 37. Shortly after, Cassie was signed to Bad Boy. And at the time, Cassie was actually in a relationship with someone else, and Diddy was in a relationship with Kim Porter. But then on Cassie's 21st birthday, Diddy allegedly pulled her into the bathroom and forcibly kissed her. Cassie cried, and that was their very first physical encounter. Over time, Diddy continued to pursue her, according to this lawsuit. And then in September of 2007, Diddy allegedly picked Cassie up from her apartment and gave her a pill. The suit says that Cassie didn't know what the pill was, but she took it at his request. She later learned that that pill was ecstasy, allegedly. Then there's a story told from 2007 when Diddy allegedly paid a promoter to create a fake flyer for a party Cassie was hosting, but not really because it was fake. And it was done to give her a reason to go to Miami and get away from her boyfriend. During that trip, it's alleged that they did a ton of drugs, and that is when they had their very first encounter. By 2008, Diddy had allegedly introduced Cassie to opiates and would often have pills and other drugs out in the open like candy. Quote, upon information and belief, Mr. Combs has been addicted to prescription painkillers and took ecstasy frequently. The suit also alleges that Cassie's medical records were being sent directly to Diddy's email address. For instance, the suit says when Cassie was experiencing some memory loss, I'm not a lawyer, but there is a brand new Diddy lawsuit. And this one, y'all. First of all, let's start with the trigger warning that is listed on the front page of the lawsuit. It says that this document contains highly graphic information of a nature, including SA. Additionally, there are graphic images of the aftermath of a situation, redacted images of intercourse, redacted images of minors, workers, more workers, details of trafficking, and the illegal distribution of weapons and some other stuff. Now listen, I'm definitely not including anything about any minors, anything that's too graphic. I'm not playing those games. But since I did read the lawsuit, let me attempt to give you a recap of some of what's being alleged. The lawsuit was filed by a man named Rodney Jones, who, according to the suit, is a musical prodigy. He says in August 2022, he received a call from Diddy.
Someone said 50 Cent has been making a Diddy documentary for the last 10 years and just sold it to Netflix. 10 years is crazy. How badly do you have to be preying on another person's downfall? How badly must you be preying on the op's downfall that you plotted their downfall 10 years in advance and have been working on a documentary on their downfall 10 years in advance? Like, I knew 50 Cent did not like Diddy, but I didn't know it was this deep. And now that he sold it to Netflix, he's about to make a crazy bag off of the downfall of his ops. That's crazy. Let me know how y'all feel about this.
I think that the average folk and legal scholars are all just kind of like gobsmacked about. He was denied bail.
I wasn't gobsmacked about it. I actually predicted he would not get bail, given the circumstances, given his status. He's an alleged billionaire. What's $50 million?
I want to ask you about your client, Adria, and how much the feds talked to her beforehand, because I know in the lawsuit she names Tamiko Thomas, says she was like a Ghislaine Maxwell.
Well, in our scenario, the feds already had their case and had a substantial over 100 witnesses at the time that we filed our case. So the conversation was pretty brief. Looking at the indictment, it seems like it was mainly focused on one victim, Cassie Ventura. I think that in the coming days, like you alluded to before, that there will be additional charges.